4 things we loved and 2 things we hated about the premiere of VIP. Everyone has a secret. In just the first 2 episodes of SBS's new drama VIP, we learn that Park Sung Joon is hiding something from his hardworking wife and co-worker Na Jung Sun, and no one is who they seem to be. We can't help but root for Jung Sun as she discovers his infidelity. Here are 4 things we loved and 2 things we hated about the premiere of VIP. 1. Loved the suspense. It's only 2 episodes and yet, everything has already turned upside down, and we love it. Watching Jung Sun demand Sung Joon to pick up the phone in front of her made us tense too. The phone call to manager Cha sent chills down our back. Jung Sun got Sung Joon exactly where she wanted him, and Sung Joon's smooth lying shocked us because of how vulnerable Jung Sun was. He could have come clean at the moment, but he didn't. It's hard to like these characters when they're all hiding secrets from one another, but it's insanely addicting to see how everyone is playing a game. 2. Loved Jung Sun struggling with balancing work and her mother-in-law. Nothing is more tiring than working a full-time job only to return home to cook a nice meal and then have to deal with a surprise visit from your mother-in-law. The meal is forgotten, turned cold thanks to a careless husband, and the mood ruined. However, the most difficult part of it all for Na Jung Sun is feeling lonely and unsupported by Sung Joon. VIP shows how working women are expected to do a great job at work, take care of the home, and deal with in-laws, and most importantly, how unrealistic and mentally exhausting all of these societal expectations can be for women. 3. Loved how Jung Sun tracked down her husband. If you know your spouse is blatantly lying to you, would you follow them to see what they're hiding from you? Or would you act like nothing is wrong? As fierce and smart Jung Sun was entailing her husband in a taxi, we can't help but pity her like the taxi driver did. You're probably better off not looking. Once you do, you won't forget it. Since we know Jung Sun is smart, sympathetic, level-headed, kind, and a cat lover, it was even more heartbreaking to see her retreat into herself and get drunk from the stress. 4. Loved the nouveau rich lady. Yes, the VIP client is annoying and ridiculous in how she treats her shoppers and Jung Sun, but also refreshing. It sounds weird, but the nouveau rich lady is so relatable. She knows how judgmental people can be and does her best to blend in, so we completely relate to her pain and awkwardness. I bought all the expensive goods, but I can't get rid of my country bumpkin image. Is that something you're just born with? She's so in tune that it forces us to realize how fake and gilded everything can be in the world of VIP. 1. Hated Sung Joon's wooden character, emotionally unavailable. Sung Joon obviously stopped talking to Jung Sun, but he was truly in love with her when he proposed in the forest. Did they fall into a routine and grow apart, or did something else happen? Honestly, the first episode was hard to get through, but the second episode made up for everything. We get to see how Sung Joon reacts to another cheater, and that cowardly, guilty look on his face is everything. We love how every character in this drama evolves, especially Sung Joon, Jung Sun, and newbie On Yuri. 2. Hated Jung Sun surrounded by frenemies. Is Jung Sun married to work? Perhaps the drama hasn't revealed her best friends yet, but it would be nice to see Jung Sun receive advice and hugs from someone she can trust. As Jung Sun begins to doubt her co-workers, it's easy to see how lonely and cold her co-workers are and isolating her fancy corporate job is. The paranoia is stifling. Jung Sun and Sung Joon don't have a happily ever after ending, but do we want them to?